Welcome to Flashpoint Friday, a weekly series where I select one game at random from Flashpoint's archives and give it a try. And maybe, just maybe, the game might actually be good. Hello everyone, welcome back to Flashpoint Friday, and this week we have an officially licensed Spongebob Squarepants game that was hosted on the Nickelodeon website back in 2009 called Spongebob Squarepants Fiery Tracks of Fury. Now, I'll be perfectly honest, I'm actually not that familiar with SpongeBob. I feel like I was a little too old when it first aired, and I've only seen a handful of clips on YouTube and the like. But based off of the limited amount I've seen, I'd probably say that for the record, my favorite character is probably Squidward. But without any further ado, it says tap anywhere to play. So let's do that. We got a brief loading screen. And we're in. And it looks like this is a mouse-controlled affair. And we're controlling SpongeBob and Patrick as they're riding on a roller coaster. And moving the mouse controls where they move on the screen with the roller coaster. We have some giant armored spiked gauntlets that are trying to impede our progress. I assume we don't want to be underneath them when they punch downwards, but they're also smashing bits of the roller coaster track. So you have to jump over it by left clicking, and of course you can also jump to collect items that increase your score, it looks like. So cotton candy and balloons. And you can control where you're going in midair, so it's fairly forgiving in that front too. You aren't committed to your jump trajectory like some 2D platformers do. And this is basically, I would say, a 2D platformer. It's just that it does the basic movement for you, so you just got to control where you are on the screen and when you jump to collect things and avoid obstacles. And is it my imagination, or did the sound effects stop playing? There were sound effects there at first when I was picking up items and such, but now it's gone, and I don't know why. And there appears to be no way to turn off the music, which is unfortunate, because I get the feeling if you're to listen to this for an appreciable length of time, this looping track would grate on your nerves, but what can you do? And I'm actually kind of surprised for an official Nickelodeon game. You would think, I don't know, you'd think they would put a little more effort into the production value, like the aforementioned sound effects, but there's also no voice samples from SpongeBob or Patrick here, which, I don't know, maybe a blessing in disguise. I don't know if you'd want to hear them yelling and screaming, reacting to the roller coaster constantly like this, if they did have voice files. Oops, almost accidentally closed the window there, but yeah. Anyway, it looks like we have 3 lives to work with, and I'm doing pretty good avoiding the obstacles so far. It also seems like the difficulty is kind of plateaued a bit. We started with one gauntlet that's trying to crush us or otherwise impede our progress, and now there's 2. It seems to have stopped at 2. Now, there do appear to be more gaps in the roller coaster, though, as we progress, so I guess things are gradually increasing at the difficulty curve, but I was kind of expecting it to be a bit more harrowing at this point, like they would maybe introduce 3 or possibly even 4 gauntlets that are all trying to take us out, or maybe introduce some other type of obstacle. Oh, get out of the way. There we go. And if you look closely, you can see that the roller coaster track is comprised of all sorts of tiny little segments that are stitched together, basically. And when these gauntlets come down, they remove one of those little segments. So, whoa! All right. I thought for sure it was a goner there, but I managed to make it. So, collision detection might be a bit iffy, but I'm throwing a lot of, I realize I'm throwing a lot of potential criticisms and such at this title, but it's honestly, it was just, whoa, meant to be like a promotional a game for the show itself. Ow! Yeah, so you really don't want to get caught underneath those gauntlets. So in a matter of seconds, I've burned through 2 of my 3 lives. I think I'm on my last life now. I could see, though, where this could appeal to kids who are SpongeBob fans and such. A way to kill a bit of time while they're browsing the Nickelodeon website. Okay, yep. Yeah, there are definitely more gaps in the roller coaster track. I say as I hit a straight stretch now. Alright, well, in any case, I'll call it once I lose all my lives here, whether that's by genuinely screwing up or I might intentionally end it here soon, because I don't want to let this drag on for too long. We definitely have gotten the gist of this title by now. And I would imagine this music is grating for the listeners. So yeah, game over, 29,270 points. That's pretty respectable, I gotta say, for an initial outing. Yeah, so it just gives you option to play again. It's loading, and alright, yeah, we're back in for another one. But I'll go ahead and call it here. I'll exit out of this. I don't think there's a way to get back to the title screen without restarting the game. So I'll do that off camera, and I'll come back and give you my thoughts. So that's SpongeBob SquarePants Fiery Tracks of Fury. Yeah, and it's a pretty basic, I would say, auto-scrolling 2D side-scrolling game. I would say it's certainly not ambitious by any stretch of the imagination, and it has some kind of odd quirks and omissions, like how the sound effects cut out early, and there's no way to turn off the music. So, yeah, aside from the SpongeBob branding, I would say there's really nothing that sets this game apart from the sea of similar Flash and web games out there. But having said that, I could see kids who were SpongeBob fans who were browsing the Nickelodeon website back in 2009. If they read across a game like this, they would probably glean about maybe 10, 15 minutes max of some enjoyment out of playing it before they got bored. So I would say that then that's probably what they set out to do for this title. So it accomplishes exactly that, nothing more and nothing less. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Flashpoint Friday, and take care, everyone.